Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio. Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
Yo. What's going on? Welcome to the final countdown. It's your guy, MP. I'm calling from the illustrious, we get it right there, downtown Las Vegas from Gorilla Cross Studios. I'm your guy, MP, a.k.a. that guy, a.k.a. Pop, a.k.a. Michael Price. And joining me, man, that handsome devil across from me, Mr. J. Long. Jeremy, what's up?
Man, you almost said hefty. That hefty, handsome guy right there. Huh?
Oh, man, I would never go there. I don't delve in weight.
I said 5 guys to beat you.
See, there we go. I love that joke.
It's beautiful, man. It's nice and cool out here. Everybody's feeling frisky, man. Everybody's bouncing. There's a little bouncing. Everyone's step out here.
I got on a jacket.
Yeah,
you know,
got on a jacket.
I would have had on a sweater, but it would have looked just wrong.
It's stylish, man. You got the hat on.
Come on, man. You know me. We got to bring a little flavor to here.
Okay, all right.
You know what? And we'd like to have your flavor. Give us a phone call. Call us at 702-608-3259. Chime in. It's a lot to talk about. Some stuff a little controversial. Some stuff a lot of fun. But more importantly, you be kicking with he and I and he. I know you're not me and I'm not you, so we won't go there. So, hey, man, let's do what we do about this time. Let's kick in with a little barbershop chop. So, the things that everyone's talking about this morning in the local barbershops, style shops, heck, probably even the beauty shops this morning, Daryl Morey and the comments that he made, or the tweet that he made. Sometimes we make these tweets, we never know the response that we're going to get because we come straight from the heart. You know, most of them straight from the heart or straight from the, other searching, creeping.
Straight from the alcohol.
Right. But in this case, he sent out a tweet and pretty much saying, China, United States, the things we do, we're kind of good.
Yeah.
We're good.
He was standing with Hong Kong.
Yeah. Commerce. He likes commerce. And, it is the thing that society's built on, the United States is built on. But sometimes your timing can just be ill timing. I think that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. The NBA looks kind of foolish right now.
Yeah.
They weren't prepared for this. You could just tell they weren't prepared for this.
They had players in China.
They were in China when it happened. They're over there. NBA's doing a whole bunch of preseason games and everything. We'll get to those in just a minute. But right now, egg on the face of the entire NBA because at first, when Daryl Morey sends out a tweet saying he's with Hong Kong, Hong Kong's having this big to do with China mainland communist government about extradition charges and stuff like that for people who may face that there. And China is not the most democratic place if you're a criminal or an accused criminal or accused of anything kind of person to be. And so, the NBA has deep ties at China, obviously a lot of business. They've been doing it for years and years and years. Lots of guys have gone over there and made lots of money. Stephon Marbury, Kobe has gone over there and built a little empire. And China has invested heavily in the NBA. Now they've pulled basically in a matter of days, they've pulled all the sponsorships. They've closed almost all of the games down. They've restricted the media access. Rachel Nichols said earlier today that they had to work all night to remove the paint from the sponsors on the floor of the places these guys were playing at because the sponsorships, every single one of them was pulled from the NBA. So that's what's going on right now. And the NBA's response at first, the players and, most notably James Harden, they say, hey, what are you talking about? We love China. And then Americans and politicians all stand up and say, wait, so you're against human rights? And they're like, wait.
Not what I said.
That's not what I said. Now they're like, hey, we're with Adam Silver because Adam Silver said, oh, yeah, heck yeah, our employees can stand up and talk about what they believe in. We're that kind of organization. As they tiptoe around trying, as it looks bad right now for the NBA because some people are saying, hey, you're putting money above people.
Right.
Other folks are saying
Human
hey,
rights.
Is it any different than what the NFL did to Colin Kaepernick? So there's a lot of stuff going on.
Wow, the white guy said that.
Yeah,
I know.
it's really weird. I mean, but you could tell they were totally unprepared for this. They thought they had all their ducks in a row, and honestly, no one's ever brought that up before. I can't believe it's just now a thing that the NBA is in so deep with China and the Chinese company.
Well, I mean, the way that you look at it from a business standpoint, especially when we're talking about this type of money, this kind of money that's being spent, you would just be a business owner, the people putting this into play. Some of those things you just consider, is it really affecting us today? I mean, is it in front of our eyes today? And if no one's over there protesting it, they just kind of shove it under the rug. And obviously that's something that they've done over the past years, because this whole China thing's been building up since before Yao Ming.
Right.
Then once Yao Ming hit the center stage, it was just on and cracking.
Oh yeah.
The money was coming in, the sponsorships. San Francisco's a big sponsor of Golden State Warriors. It's going to be interesting to see how their money's affected as an individual team.
Yeah.
Because of the shipping and all that's there. Back and forth.
The individual players, like you said, I mean, they have contracts with these different Chinese companies. Klay Thompson has a big one. I think Harden has a big one. A number of them do.
Sure.
And that's commerce, and one shouldn't affect the other. But now you kind of see, if this is what China can do, and I'm not
bad man.
I'm not trying to be on either side here, but if this is what China can do to an NBA team that they have contracts and ties with and spending hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars with, especially over the last decade, then imagine being
living
a
there?
citizen.
Oh my God.
In China. And if you step out of line and your rights that the rights that I guess we have that we take for granted, this podcast, you think we'd be on in China?
Oh no.
I don't think we'll ever be on in China.
They would never find us.
They restrict everything, right? But money talks. And yes, there's money to be made. And I think Charles Barkley said earlier, he came out with a statement basically calling anyone who disagrees with that, or anyone who disagrees with the stance that, hey, we need to apologize to the Chinese is dumb, stupid. I think he called us all idiots. But that's Charles Barkley. I don't take into consideration a lot of the things what Charles Barkley says. But I think you kind of miss the point. Whenever you say, hey, I really love my NBA commissioner who has my back and allow me to talk about political things, but I also stand with the Chinese government who actively restricts those very rights against its own peoples. You can't be a victim and a bully at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You can't have both ways. You can't have your cake and eat it too. However you want to word it. You got to be on one side or the other. And this is a defining moment for the NBA. How deep is this going to go? The Chinese have no trouble cutting all ties. I know that they've done it very quickly. What's going to happen from here? I like watching.
No. Well, the thing
popcorn and get it ready and just like, I love this drama.
You look at it and you wonder how the players felt actually being in China while all this is going on. So let's not get crazy and think that they can just get back on a plane because they want to.
Yeah,
and that they can shut them down at any given moment and pick any reason for their passports not to be allowed to get back on the plane.
Yeah, that's the scary thing.
Yeah, it has to be scary. The ball situation. Those kids were over there thinking they were getting ready to be prisoners of war, for stealing some Gucci socks.
The hell, Sweden did it with A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, hey, it's Sweden.
He gets punched and then he goes to jail.
Yeah, it's a bad look all
I
around.
get assaulted and I go to jail because I'm not from this country.
Yeah, no.
It's a crazy look.
It's a crazy look. We're talking about some things that are just amazing in themselves. That little short stature of a woman, Simone Biles, wins her 5th all-around world title, which no other female has ever done. We're looking at a record of 3 wins up to this point. One of the most prolific gymnasts ever. And to say that ever,
oh, yeah. Ever.
You just go, man, how can her body do the things she can do? Right off the top of my head, I can't remember that one flip that she's been able to complete that no one else is completing out there in the world. It's like the triple Lindy or something crazy like that. I don't know, but
the flippity flop.
The flippity.
Yeah.
All right, American Dad. I like that. The flippity flop. But let's give shouts out to her and the things that she's been able to accomplish, and and stay on focus, because we know that they had a big blow up, 2 years ago with the gymnastic teams globally with the United States. So for her to be able to keep her focus on there, not let that bother her, a big shout outs to her.
Yeah, man. And she finished 2 points higher than the silver medalist from China. And she is, without a doubt, the favorite going into the Olympics next year for gold. And this marks 7 wins in a row for the U.S. women's national team, which is the longest current active streak since the Rushkis back in the 70s and 80s had 7 themselves. So
yeah, they used to kill us back
they're
then.
on quite a roll.
They used to kill us back then. It wasn't even close. You just used to hope that we would get a bronze.
Yep.
Like, maybe we can pull a bronze out. And then, man, this is something, since we're keeping a political tone going on with this right now,
Yep.
and this is an amazing stat, that Iran women are able to attend a soccer game for the first time in 40 years. It's something that their government wouldn't allow. Now they're able to attend the games, and I mean, they got emotional about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that we take for granted here in the United States. Again, something that we just like, what are you talking about? Why couldn't they attend the games? Well, because they weren't allowed.
Right.
And when you use the word not allowed, it just has a strong feeling, because the only thing you're not allowed to do is go outside after dark when your mother tells you to, go back inside. Now here, these are grown women, for decades not being able to go and see something that they don't even know if they love it or not. They just think they want to go and see it.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And it's still, a lot of restrictions, but it is a huge step forward. A lot of pressure from international countries and organizations, on Iran to, ease some of these restrictions that have been in place for 40-something years since the coup back in the day, the 70s. And they were still restricted. It was restricted to about 3,000 women who got tickets, and then they sat in their own section away from the men. And then they were given warnings. Hey, be prepared. You don't know you ever have that with your woman where you're like, hey, woman, look at you can't, hey, we got to do AM, FM radio on this side of the bed. You can't handle all this. Yeah, this is technology, woman. I'm letting you know you could experience things that you might not used to. Yeah, it's going to blow your mind. And people are like, oh, well, okay, whatever. So but they told her, hey, be prepared. Hey, soccer is kind of a violent sport. Your delicate eyes are not ready for this. And you may have stuff thrown at you, and you may get cursed out by men who are threatened by women doing anything. So, it's a step. It's a step in the right direction, but it's still just a step for those women in the Middle East.
And listening to Barbershop Shop, the final countdown, MP, Jeremy Long. And the last topic here we want to chop up on, and it's something that everybody's been waiting for since, heck, I have to say this time last season. We didn't know he was going to be this spectacular, but he was the number 1 pick in the NBA, and that would be one Zion, and give me one more again, Zion. Oh, man, he went out last night, played against the Chicago Bulls, put up 29 points, and he put it up, if I'm not mistaken, he went 12 for 13 or something ridiculous like that.
12 for 13.
Yeah, 12 for 13. All shots that were close, a couple of dunks. He had the night before, or 2 nights before, he had some of his signature moves and high-flying dunks. But last night, you just could see, I guess, a superstar in the making.
Right.
Yeah, because it's now I don't know what his short game's going to look like. I don't know what his jump shot looks like, because he doesn't have to use it because he's just so big, and the space that he's able to create by getting that quick first step on him, Jeremy. It was a beautiful thing to see, and I got to say, the Pelicans, although they had Anthony Davis, for the last 6 years, they're going to probably be the team to watch this NBA season.
Especially one of the more intriguing teams, just in itself, man. So, I mean, yes, it's the preseason. I try not to buy too much in the preseason, just like NFL. I don't do it in NBA because, no one's trying to really play lockdown D. I mean, everyone's just going through the playbook.
Don't want to hurt yourself.
Yeah, you don't want to blow a knee out or whatever in the preseason. So 29 points against the Bulls. That's fun. It's fun for us, the fans. It's fun for us to sit there and watch. But I'm telling you, they named the 5 most intriguing players in the NBA right now. Zion.
Well, and then the whole team, because the Pelicans have half of the old Lakers on their team as well. So, Ball, Lonzo Ball looks like he picked up a new jump shot.
Right.
God, and I see it's the IB, but no, not IB. What's his name?
Ben Simmons.
No, heck, no, not Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons.
That's from last week.
I knew exactly where you're coming from. Ben Simmons. But Brandon Ingram, B.I. Brandon Ingram, he looked like he may have put on 3 pounds.
Yeah.
So he may have gotten a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But for the most of it, it's going to be fun
But
to
I
see.
like it. That is a very interesting team. That's a team to watch. The Pelicans, I never thought I'd say the Pelicans would be a team to watch, but that really is a very interesting team. Hopefully they can bring it all together, make it very compelling throughout the season.
That's it. Oh, man. So you listen to the final countdown. We're going to go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, it's Halloween, man. Do you know what's happening out there? There are some blood suckers that are just sucking the blood out of some of their teams out there with these contracts. When we come back, it's the final countdown.
This is your guy, Dre Bailey.
And your man, Goose Thomas.
Tune in to Let the Ball Bounce on Gorilla Cross Radio.
Every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Pacific Coast time.
And every Saturday at 2 p.m. Pacific Coast time. Your guy, Dre Bailey.
And your man, Goose Thomas.
And if you scared,
You better go to church.
Broadcasting live from downtown Las Vegas, you're tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
That is without a doubt my favorite commercial. I love it. I have a mandate that we play that in every show.
Yo, me and Price were both looking at you to see what your reaction was going to be.
It's so aggressive,
And
man.
you could see his face the whole time. He's like trying to avoid it, trying to keep his face strong. Luckily, we don't have it. Like we don't have the cameras on during that break.
Oh, we don't. Oh,
we
my
might have to
God.
leave those on next time.
Because his cheeks just turned red. And he's like, I'm not going to laugh. I'm not going to laugh.
I'm trying
then right
to
when
write
that
some
part
notes
hits,
down. I'm trying to
it's
write
over.
notes down here as we go, and then I hear it, and it kills me every single time. Because number one, they have a great show. Yeah, they do a great show and have a good time. But it's so aggressive, man. It's
If
like,
you're scared,
go to church, man.
you gotta go to church. Get Jesus. Get Jesus.
You need Jesus.
You
That's what
need Jesus, like my man DL. Oh, man. So last night I was watching the game, and I'm sure, I always say sure, but I don't know how big baseball still is from a United States standpoint. But watching the game, like a lot of people, the ALS,
ALCS,
LA, is that where we were?
NLCS, and ALCS.
I don't know, man. I get so confused.
American League. and
I know, but
National League.
but what's the one before the championship? What's that one called?
The wild card.
No.
I don't know.
ALDS.
See?
Oh, the
And
division
NLDS.
series.
Yeah.
I had no idea what you were talking about.
Yes, you did. It was the game last night. I'm
Oh,
gonna
the
throw
game
something at you.
Oh, I
I'm
don't-
gonna throw
Well, the Dodgers.
the Dodgers.
The Dodgers
The Dodgers.
choking.
Choking.
Oh,
Who? The Dodgers.
Clayton Kershaw. Man,
You know what?
I feel bad.
Oh, no, you don't.
I feel bad for Clayton.
But $25 million a year. What the hell you feel bad for him for? Man, you better stop.
What?
He gets paid to do one thing and one thing only, pitch. You get out there, boy. You pitch this ball. You get your paycheck for your mother. You get that paycheck, boy. Yeah, and he went out there.
Cool runnings. Is
Oh,
that your cool runnings?
He goes out there with a lead, 3-1 in the 8th, and he loses the game. Well, he didn't lose it, but he sure didn't help it. Yeah, and he gave up 2 hits back-to-back jacks.
Back-to-back home runs, man.
Back-to-back jacks. It had me starting to think, homie, is he really making his money? Because the hell with the regular season. All right, we have figured out you're good during the regular season. Can we win some championships with what you're doing? And I started thinking, are there other bad contracts in sports where guys are just blood-sucking money? And you actually, the last one you have on here,
Yeah.
I thought of that one as well.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go down a list of some of the worst contracts in sports. Not just baseball, people. We're just talking sports altogether. Hit him with that first one, Jay.
The first one I always think about when I think about killer contracts, Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols on this 10-year, $240 million contract. And now, these days, with Mike Trout and Bryce Harper signing these $300, $400 million deals, it seems like it's not that big of a deal. 10 years, $240 million. They signed Albert Pujols when he was 32 years old, so he's already kind of out of that prime. But all of those years leading up to that time, Pujols was a no doubt first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy was just incredible. He had something like 500 home runs, whatever, for the St. Louis. Got a couple of rings out of the Cardinals. And beautiful. So it kind of looked like, okay, so even if they could get that same Pujols for 4 or 5 years, that window for the Angels would be looking good. They would be contending for some championships, maybe. It has been nothing but a disaster for the Angels, who have, you would think, Albert Pujols, with some of the pitchers they've come through there with.
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout, the modern day Mickey Mantle. You know, you'd think they would be contending every year, and every single year it is just one disaster after another for the Angels. And the good news is that there's only 2 years left on this stupid contract. But he made $28 million this year for nothing. Next year he makes $29 million. Last year he makes $30 million. And then they'll finally be out from underneath that albatross of a contract.
Well, you know what the crazy thing is? I remember when they signed the contract, it was like my second or third year in Las Vegas. And that seemed like it was going to be, oh my God, I can't wait. Now it's just 2 years from now.
Yeah.
And like you said, you can't even think of any Albert Pujols winning moments. And I'm sure he's had some, because I just see that little
I think
squat and
he hit his 600th home run or something
a month
with
or so
him,
ago. Yeah, it wasn't too long ago.
And at this point, that's kind of what you're paying for. Like, if you're going to hit milestones, make sure you do it in our jersey. But let's leave no doubt about it. When he goes into Cooperstown, and he will, he's still a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's going to be wearing a Cardinals hat.
Oh.
There's nothing from the Angels lineup that you would go, yeah, those are great memories. What, all the strikeouts?
Yeah.
All the no home runs you're hitting?
No.
Come on, man. I
Yeah.
hate to be it, but if you're making that much money, I mean, that's kind of stupid on the Angels, but whatever, man.
And the second one on there, Mr. Chris Davis.
Oh, man. Baltimore Orioles. This is another one of those contracts that looked really good
Going
when
into
they signed it, because he was a younger guy. He mashed a bunch of home runs, had a bunch of power, 7 years, $161 million. And, but recently, I mean, he had a historic 0 for 54 streak batting, no hits and 54 at bats, which has never been done before. And even beyond that, he's been literally the worst player in baseball, making this absurd amount of money. And no one is going to take on this contract. You cannot move this guy. Where Albert Pujols has a no trade clause,
Right.
and you can't move this guy. And even get this, I was reading up on it a little bit. $42 billion of this contract has been deferred to the starting in 2023 all the way up to 2037. They will pay him $1.4 million when he is 51 years old, Chris Davis. And in fact, in 2035 is when we get to Bobby Bonilla here in a minute. His deferred money ends in 2035. That same year, they'll still be paying Chris Davis 1.4. I figure they can get together on Bobby Bonilla Day and buy each other a drink. Bobby Bonilla would be 34 years removed from his last year of playing baseball.
Collecting contracts. Collecting paychecks.
Just a terrible contract for the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah,
And what a terrible team.
Oh, it is. Then we have John Wall, and this one, you can't say that you saw it coming, but John Wall hit a ceiling when he's at Kentucky. And so for him to come out and for them to pay him all this money from the Wizards,
Wow.
4 years, $170 million through 2023. He hasn't played a full season since,
Kentucky?
I don't know. I just
Did he play a full
thought we
season
had
at
crickets, a cricket sound. That would just jump in there. No, and it wasn't that he was a bad player, but he's just,
They gave him a supermax contract.
before they even had to. There
There
we
it
go.
is.
There we go.
And
A little late, but
Yeah, that's okay.
always
Never
on
late.
time.
Never late. But see, there we go. But you just look at these kind of contracts. You go, what? All right, what were you doing it for? Was he making the team better? I mean, the team was okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was any better without him. And now that, with he and Bradley Beal having going to heads, going to odds, you're not going to get rid of this contract. You're stuck with them. They're looking at trading Bradley Beal because they need to cut some of the payroll to do some other things because, you just look at John Wall. His knees are bad. He doesn't have a jump shot. And you gave him all this money, and he's never taken you anywhere. And that's the part that just confuses me. He's never taken them anywhere. So what led you to believe that he was going to be able to do this after the fact, once you gave him money?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's kind of the same for the next guy on the list, Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, another one of those guys who is, was a decent player, but not worth what is it, 5 years, almost $147 million that you give that the Timberwolves gave this guy, which set off a chain of events. Jimmy Butler was angry. He was like, oh, if if Andrew Wiggins is getting this kind of money, how come I'm not getting this kind of money?
Right.
You know, and just all kinds of things. And Wiggins is just one of these guys. He's like, he's all right, I guess. I mean, but not
Whoa.
147.
I figured it out.
What?
He's from Canada, so maybe they're paying him in Canadian. It would be a little.
I don't know if that works out better for them or not.
It'd be less money. Canadian money is definitely less than the U.S. currency.
That's in Minnesota.
Minnesota. You got to say it like that. Minnesota.
Minnesota is in the U.S.
No, but he's from Canada.
Oh,
He's from Canada.
he's from Canada?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
the Wiggins brothers.
Okay.
Yeah. His brothers in the NBA as well.
I was like, do you not know young people?
Like it's close.
last time I checked, did they invade? Did they take our state?
Hey, you know what?
Did
I
we
don't
trade?
know.
Did we trade the contract for Andrew Wiggins? For
Better check your
the
watch.
state?
It could happen any day now with the stuff we're going through. And this next one, yeah.
Come on, man! You knew as soon as they announced this next one, it was a horrible idea.
Kirk Cousins receiving $84 million fully guaranteed, which in the
Fully
NFL,
guaranteed.
you never get fully guaranteed money in the NFL.
No.
Yeah.
For reasons like this, you don't do it.
Garbage.
Kirk Cousins wasn't the truth in Washington. How is he going to be
Garbage.
the answer in Minnesota, man? Just
It's a good time to be a quarterback in the NFL.
I know, because Dak Prescott's about to get paid.
Paid. That ugly
And
money.
he's garbage.
You get ready to get that ugly money. It's going to be stinky.
That's stupid money.
Oh, my God. And then the next one, and hey, in Las Vegas, people, don't get mad
Speaking
about
of
it.
stupid one.
Bad contract's a bad contract. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter who it is or where it is. We got Mr. John frickin' Gruden receiving $100 million in 10 years. What?
Yeah.
Who that? I mean, we know it happened. We saw it. We know he's coming here.
But hey, he did make the promise. Hey, if I'm not doing well, I'm not going to take this money.
Yeah.
I believe him too.
You believe him?
I would not.
Oh, come on. I don't think that's what the intent of a verbal contract is. I think it's more of a you shake and you spit on your hand. That's more of the verbal contract.
10 years, $100 million. And, all he does is trade your cornerstones away and, bring over Antonio Brown. That worked out great.
Yeah.
Derek Carr is really progressing well. Okay. Raiders are doing
Hey,
great.
they're 3-2.
Yeah.
I guess that's all that matters.
Hey,
Going
they
to
got a pretty new home right down the street from here.
We're
I
going to
can't
see.
wait. Can't wait.
And like you said, the worst contract ever is Bobby Bonilla. Who's Bobby Bonilla? Exactly. He played baseball when it was still not HD. Before HD. I don't even know how to put it any other way. And he's going to, as Jeremy said earlier, he's going to receive $1.2 million in 2035 and he's been getting it since 2001. That's insane money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, I'm good. And then I'm sure he gets his retirement money, because he's retired.
It's just his pension from the MLB. And
Oh, man. He's sitting
everything
fat.
else. Oh, no, he's good.
He's
Hey,
good.
July 1st every year is Bobby Bonilla Day.
We got to start
And
celebrating
we
that.
will be celebrating it. We'll have tacos. We will
Yeah. So baseballs,
$1.40 tacos and
Met,
things like that.
Met attire. He was a Met for guys who
Yeah.
didn't know. So, yeah, we're going to have outfits, the whole kit and caboodle.
Mets will be paying it, and that's why they're the Mets.
Yeah, okay. We're going to take our last and final break. It's MP, it's Jeremy Long. It's the final countdown from Gorilla Cross Studios in downtown Las Vegas. Talk to you in a bit. Peace.
Yo, you tuned in to Gorilla Cross Radio.
I can't do this anymore.
Yo, check out Unnamed Sports Show every Monday, 4 p.m. West Coast time right here on Gorilla Cross Radio, and every Thursday, 2 p.m. West Coast time right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. Also check out Girl Chat Sport every Wednesday, 6 p.m. West Coast time. Download that Gorilla Cross app. It's free. Sports shows, hip-hop. You can't go wrong with that right here on Gorilla Cross Radio. And I'm going to send it back to the boys on the final countdown right here on Gorilla Cross.
And welcome back. It's Final Countdown. MP, Jeremy Long. We're live from the Gorilla Cross Studios in downtown Las Vegas. Guys, come on now. Hit us up. Talk to us. We're easy on you. We won't chop you up that bad. Phone number, 702-608-3259. Give us some critique. We can take it. We're the big boys over here. We're the big boys. We want to have a little fun right now.
Critique.
Yeah.
And if you're scared,
Go to church.
Go to church. You know this. So the one thing we understand that everything has to have some of the highlights in life. And we're going to show you some of our highlights with a little segment called Say What. Jeremy, bro, you picked some good ones. This first one is hilarious. And oh, my God.
Let me walk you through some of these. This first one here. This is full contact sword fighting. Check this out. Number one, the music was my choice.
Oh, my God. I wonder where that came from.
They had somebody speaking underneath it. I'm like, we don't need all that.
Yes. Oh, my God.
Look at these shots.
But you know what I say when I watch
my
this,
gosh.
man?
What?
White people. You know,
What is this?
you know.
Dude, that dude just took an axe to the
Just
head.
I know. It's legit.
Oh my God.
They may be dull, but it's contusions.
Full contact sword fighting. There's actually a armored combat league in England where they divvy up teams. As you see, there's teams. Now there are requirements. You have to buy all this armor and everything else. Our safety.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank God, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Like they did right in the Middle Ages. Okay. And they have teams, and I don't know. I didn't get far enough in because I was just so amazed that people were hitting other people with axes and walking
And big
away.
mallets.
But I don't know how they score points. Like, how do you go down? Are you knocked out? Are you dead? Like, I don't know. But I got like 30 minutes into this, and I was like, what am I doing? Like, you look up from your screen, and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, why am I still watching this? I'm lost on
It's a
YouTube.
bad look.
Full contact sword fighting, the Armored Combat League in England, and like you said, white people.
Yeah, it's you know.
Hey, if white people can hit each other with swords, we're gonna do it.
Why not?
I'm going to London.
You've
I'm
seen a
taking you
movie.
with me. I'm taking you with me.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Well, we'll go and drink.
I saw that Robin Hood movie with Kevin Costner. Morgan Freeman's in it. He has that big sword. You're my Morgan Freeman.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out if that a backhanded or
Nope, we're going to the next one. All right, the little boys. These little boys. You know what? This is why women live longer than men, because we do stuff like this. My turn. Oh my God. One more time. Okay. Oh my God. You know what? Parent of the Year goes out to
the one filming
whoever birthed these children that's probably, filming. I don't know if the dad's filming, and I don't know if that's the mom filming it. But there you go, man. That is.
But the funny part is that the kid in the green was like, whoa, hold on. I don't need to be back quite yet. You take a couple more of these in the face.
Yeah, he was still seeing double.
Yeah.
But, kids, their brains haven't fully developed yet. They still got a lot of that jelly in there and stuff. I don't know if those are accurate
Medical
words.
statements?
Yeah, medical things. But, so they're smacking each other in the face with a garbage can. This one right here, this next one, is a beautiful, beautiful moment. Touched my heart as a young player. This young man right here. Let's check out this full play from the baseball game.
See that kid there with the glasses earlier in the game. Luis Rivera throws him a baseball. Now watch what he does. He catches that baseball and then turns to the group of young ladies behind him and says, "Hey, ladies, would you like a ball?"
Look at
that.
that.
Aren't you so sweet?
Look at that.
But then he says, "I gave her the other ball."
The problem is he's got the gamer in his
He
glove.
keeps the game ball.
He's the man.
Ladies, would you like a baseball? And look at the girl in the middle.
Oh man. Look at that.
Yeah. Player.
There you
And then
go.
the crown.
There you go. Wow. Learning at a young age right there. Look at it. That was smooth too. Hit the game ball and gave him some other little ball right back here.
Right, like you've been thinking about it.
And those ladies were like, "Oh my Lord, look at this!
My
He's
heart.
such a sweet young man."
He's
and
a gentleman.
Like, he nudged his buddy. He was like, "You see that? You see what I did there?" That's like he gonna be telling that story the rest of his life.
Oh, he got film. He has film on it.
And finally, bringing up the rear here on October 8th, 2015, exactly almost 4 years ago. Adam Wallace nearly died. But let's take a moment to remember Tarp Kid. Here, you don't know, you
Never
don't
gets
remember what
old.
I'm talking about? Here we go.
How do I say goodbye?
I know you remember this.
Oh, God, yeah. And the fact he's trying to get his footing, and no one slows down.
No one stopped.
No one slows
They
down.
just kept going. His face at the end kills me. He's like, oh my God, this is it.
And his boy's reaching out with that hand like, no.
I'll never let go, Jack. Yeah, okay. That was Adam Wallace at the time. He was a member of the Royals ground crew. That he was just taken by the tarp. Lest we forget, Adam. Lest we forget. But I will tell you, like George Costanza would say, the tarp was angry that day, my friends.
Yes.
The tarp was angry that day.
No.
Vengeful. We've never seen Adam again. I've never seen a follow-up with him, whatever. So there you go. Some say what? Loosely dealing with sports, but just some weird stuff we find.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, and we got to keep coming with stuff like that. We got to keep hitting them upside the head
Full
with it.
contact sword fighting. That's
So-
our new thing. We got to bring that to Vegas. Yeah, let's
With
see
the
right
axes?
here. Yeah, with the
axes?
axes.
Axe throwing?
Yes. Oh no, it's axe throwing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we already got the place down there. Yeah.
Oh, we got the axe throwing.
Well, we already got the
Monkey toss or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah, monkey toss, and they already do the shows at.
Oh, we have a great time with
What's the castle one? Here, casino.
Ben Simmons.
No one was gonna help me. You just let me.
Excalibur. Hotel
Excalibur.
Casino.
I was gonna say the El Cortez because the El Cortez is right here by us, but
It
no,
was some
the
L something.
Excalibur. There you go. They already have the little pit down there.
Oh, my
Don't
God.
they still do the night shows there?
I've never been to that.
Where they get on horseback and
You
smack
get a
each
big
other with
turkey
swords?
leg?
Yeah.
Yeah, the big turkey
Yeah,
leg. Oh,
yeah.
see, I love the big turkey leg. I get that every time I
love
go to
that.
Disney
I
World.
did it when I first moved out here.
You got your
Great
big
show.
turkey leg?
Great show.
You got to do it.
Gotta
Oh, my
get-
gosh.
Got meat, got turkey legs.
So I guess there was another break that I didn't see on here. You break
Oh,
the
that's
hell
okay.
out of it.
That's all right.
That's okay.
We don't have to take the break.
You can skip that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can skip
We're
that
out
one.
of commercials anyways.
We don't want to
You're
hear
not gonna
the.
yell at us?
We don't want to hear the. Go to church. I mean,
That would be funny. That would
looking
be funny.
ahead to this weekend, Mike.
Okay. What do we got? We going NFL? We going college?
No, what college?
Let's look at
What's your
college.
Michigan Wolverines doing this weekend?
Ooh, they playing Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah, and that should
They gonna
be-
win this one?
Well, they won the last one against Iowa when it was 16 versus 19.
Yeah, it
we've moved up 3 spots.
There you go.
But
I can't believe they actually moved them up 3 spots. You know
I
what?
know, that
can't
was-
believe it. I can't believe they didn't drop them right out of the top 25.
well, they won. I mean, you got to
Bias.
give them a break. They won. I
How's
mean,
that Michigan bias?
no.
Yeah, it
It was the stout defense of Iowa. They looked past that and said, you know what? These guys have finally got their stuff going. They're going to continue on this way, and there's nothing that anybody can do. Nothing that anybody can do. You heard it right here, folks. They're going undefeated the rest of the way. I said it here. You heard it right here on the final countdown.
Yeah.
And then we have the big game, Oklahoma versus Texas, number
Red
6
River
versus
Shootout,
number
man.
11. It gets no better than that one right there.
Yeah.
I think I have things to do that weekend, but somehow I got to figure out how to get out. Oh, she can hear me. Doggone it. I got to figure out a way to get out of doing some of these things because there's some big games going down. And I need to see this game, man. I'm going to be going back and forth.
Yeah.
You look at this, Oklahoma, I mean, they've just been a machine right now.
Yeah.
They've been a machine. Texas at number 11, they've been surprisingly good. They're only set back to this point against LSU. And, we're going to talk about LSU in a minute. So that's what I'm looking at, bro.
Yeah, Red River Shootout, man. Always a big hype. Always big in Texas, too, man. We love our football. And, you got it means a lot to players who are from Texas and played in Texas
Right.
and all around that. It's one of those really, really big rivalry games. So we'll see what goes on there. Then your Lions.
Ooh. Why
They
you
got
do
a tall-
that, man?
They got a tall task.
You just
It's
jumped
the
over
Packers.
the whole kit and caboodle there. Monday night football, the Lions versus the Packers. Monday night, it gets no bigger. The last Monday night game that comes to mind for me, the Lions were up by, I'm going to say 3 or 4 points. And the Packers were probably on the 30. Aaron Rodgers heaves the ball up. He gets a face. Someone from the Lions hits him in the face. They get a reprieve. The next play, he throws it up for a jump ball. Green Bay wins at Ford Field. I died and had to be reincarnated because that was some bull, some straight bull. So I'm looking for them to go on this one. I think the line's about 3 points, for the Green Bay Packers. But Pro Football Talk had the Lions as being one of the top 10 defenses right now going in, with this season. I mean, this week coming up.
Yeah.
If they can just continue to pull that, unfortunately, Green Bay was top 10 as well. So one of these immovable forces is going to have to give right now. I'm hoping Patricia's defense with the Detroit Lions, I'm hoping that they can break through. I don't know, we don't do the pro.
There you go. Ben Simmons.
I can't even get it out. Ben Simmons, prognosticating, woo, doing this show.
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, but I'm going to take the Lions by 6.
Oh,
by 6.
The Lions by 6.
But see, what that does right there, it can be 27-21, and you're always going to be on my edge all the way to the end because that means that there can always be a chance.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
There's always a chance. That's when sports is its best.
Of course, my Cowboys face the Jets.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What are you doing right
now? We gotta get back on. Thank you, Jets, for coming along. We gotta go right the ship, man. Just awful.
You think?
Just awful. It's just garbage.
Well, okay, but so what is your opinion when you look at this? And we definitely have to get Yolanda Hadnot on here, our Dallas Cowboy insider, to get her insight because she's actually down there.
Yeah.
But when you look at this, Jerry looks like he's actually had this thing figured out that he did not have to approach Dak with any contracts until he was ready to, and he just wants Dak to play this out and see how the season goes.
He's going to let it play it out and see how the season goes. And that's how you should go with a guy like Dak. This is his proven year. He's been under there. Now let's see what you can actually do. Now there's no he was a rookie or, it's only his second year. Now let's see what you can do. And so far, against terrible teams, he looks like a world beater. Everyone does. But against teams with any semblance of a defense at all, he looks like the Dak Prescott that most of us believed he was, which is a guy who, when asked to be that guy, win those games, he's not going to be that guy, man. He always looks like he has to put that little jump step in there to hum the ball. And believe me, I can't throw the ball 10 yards. But for an NFL quarterback who his camp wants $30 million per season, that's that Kirk Cousins money. They want that Kirk Cousins cash. You can't if you can't win games against even the middle teams with backup QBs in their stead. Well, how are you worth $30 million, man?
Yeah, that was horrible.
I don't believe it, man. I don't believe it. No, and then we have the Eagles coming up, and then the Vikings in a couple of weeks, and it never gets easier.
Well, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that this probably is going to be one of those seasons when we keep looking at the game matchups that we just keep going, because, I think I may be able to go to a walk on Sunday because none of these games really intrigue you enough to go, oh, okay, that's the one I got to sit down with. That's the one I want to be intrigued with.
Yeah.
The only thing jumping off really is 49ers versus Rams. Can the Rams get back on track? 49ers are 4-0 at this point. Other than that, Falcons, Cardinals. Steelers, Chargers. What? Who? You didn't even have a quarterback? I don't know.
Right.
Chargers. Steelers. You got a quarterback?
Poor
Who you running out there? Oh my God, dude! He looked like that old-fashioned quarterback. He was just laid out there. God rest his soul. That he's still, he's good. The baby good. But he was just laying there. Then he did the smelling sauce thing, and he just woke up.
Yeah, that old picture was Frank Gifford.
Yeah,
was Frank Gifford laid out in the mud, knocked out when
look at you,
old boy ran him over. That famous picture there.
And they came back. So, none of these games are really anything special. Redskins, Dolphins, Bengals, Ravens, Seahawks, Browns. Seahawks, Brown. The only reason that this thing has a little sizzle to it is because of the Browns. And the Browns, from what I see right now, they almost become like the villain. They're the villain of the NFL because
too much hype too soon, man.
Baker Mayfield's out there talking. You have Odell Beckham out there talking, and the coach, I think he even talked too much. But no, they're a villain. So you want to see that game versus the Seahawks versus the good guy. So it's going to be a weekend of mediocre games, which hopefully they turn out to be great games.
Hopefully. But that's why it's a great time of
Season.
the year, because baseball's still going on. Meaningful baseball's going on. The NHL is going on. The Golden Knights play tonight, actually.
Yes, they do.
So that's going on. And, it's the best time of the year to be a sports fan. So even if these NFL games are garbage, which a lot of them do look like garbage, there's always other stuff to do. Or you can just get outside if you're in Vegas and enjoy this beautiful weather.
Oh, listen to you,
And,
man.
because I'll probably be doing that because I just can't stand to watch the Dallas Cowboys.
No, they're horrible. They're horrible. So last night, the game, as we mentioned before, Clayton Kershaw had a meltdown, gave up 2 hits.
Yep.
And so when Dodger fans were leaving the game yesterday, not only were they lighting his jersey, they were running over his jersey with their car. Oh, my God. LeBron, hey, they didn't do that
They
to
were
you,
running
LeBron.
it over with their car.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means. Is that effigy? It's just,
what does that mean?
We hate you to death.
There was people walking around the parking lot with his jersey asking if they wanted to run it over.
Yeah.
Really?
It was Clayton Kershaw at his worst, because he's been worse, but this is his worst.
So I know, understanding, you're a Dodger fan, right?
Ish.
A Dodger-ish fan. But,
baseball.
you're looking at one of the greatest pitchers of his generation and a guy who just could not win in the postseason.
No.
Who does that equal? Like maybe Peyton Manning in the NFL?
Or
Something
John
like that.
Elway. John Elway was like that for a while.
Oh, then John Elway got 2 back-to-back.
Right. Well, he's still not over yet.
Clayton went to 2 back-to-back,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get it done.
He still has a chance. Maybe he can be a reliever. I don't know.
Maybe he can
But no,
join
he
it.
showed he wasn't good
Join
at
the
reliever.
Astros or something like that.
Oh, there
Join
you
that
go.
rotation. And,
So that's how it has to be. He needs to go somewhere else. To the Astros and join a super team.
hey, whatever. Hey, basketball's doing it. The Warriors are having fun, or had fun for a number of years. So why can't the rest of us have super teams? Just saying.
Now, you're Mr. MMA. You are Mr. MMA.
Sure,
That's
sure.
the thing that you talk.
Yes.
Now, we have Mr. Tyrone Woodley, who was on TMZ Sports.
Yeah.
And he says that he wants to fight Canelo. And he says if he fights Canelo, he's going to knock in boxing. And he says that he's going to knock Canelo out.
No.
Smoking,
No.
drunk, or just very confident, or all three.
Well, it's like when McGregor was calling out Mayweather.
He just needs money.
Yeah, he's trying to get a big fight. I mean, because you're not calling out some other guy, you're calling out Canelo, one of the greatest of all time, who's in his prime, and you're never going to fight him.
No, that ship has sailed.
No, that ship is sailed. They did it with Mayweather. Now every MMA fighter, because MMA fighters, unless you're the very top, they don't make a whole lot of money.
Right.
And so, of course, these guys are looking over at their at guys like Mayweather making $100 million plus on each fight. And they're going, yeah, I want that. So, yeah, Tyron Woodley, yeah, you try to drum that up. I tell you what, Tyson Fury was just on WWE, mixing it up with some pro wrestlers, like the Big Show and guys like that last week. Everyone wants to be a boxer, man. These guys are larger than life. They make tons of money for what we see is not a whole lot of work, but, it's a dangerous sport, man. So, but no, Tyron Woodley mixing it up with Canelo, absolutely no way. No way that's ever going to happen. And just a quick note before we go. Tom Brady passes Peyton Manning for second place on the all-time yardage list with 71,923 yards.
Wow.
Now he's only trailing Drew Brees, who has 74,000.
And who's still playing as well.
And is still playing as well.
Right. So the race
top
is on.
2 leaders in yardage thrown in the NFL are still active guys who are late or in their early 40s.
Yeah.
Early 40s. Who are, I was going to say late in their careers in their early 40s. But there you go. And that happened just now because the Patriots are playing the Giants.
The one thing, when you see greatness, you never know that you're seeing greatness. Watching Tom Brady in college, being a Michigan fan, going to his games back in the late 90s, you didn't see this. You didn't. Hell, he got benched.
Yeah.
He got benched. So it lets you know that at the time, Lloyd Carr's, not that he didn't have faith in him, he just thought he had someone better.
Yeah.
So Tom Brady's had that proverbial chip on his shoulder probably for most of his life. For him to finally break through and do all this is so amazing. And he was able to stay hyper focused.
Yeah.
Because at any given time, he could have just, mailed it in and said, hey, dude, I got one, I got two, I got three.
Yeah.
And for him to still be as competitive as he is. And as we say, we're watching the greatness, and he's not like a basketball player with his greatness where you can just say, oh my God, he's jumping higher than everybody. He's got this hell of a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
He had to work hard to get his craft down pat. So shouts out to Brady and what he's been doing.
Ultimate competitor. You're talking about a guy. It's the ultimate competitor. He knocked up a dime and then went out there and found him a 12 and went that way. I'm just saying, Brady's he's a different beast, man. In college he may look like a big old dope, and he still does a lot when he's like, hey, slap hands, but that guy, he's got that, whatever that X factor is they always talk about. Always respect Tom Brady.
Oh, you do.
I may hate the Patriots, but I do respect Tom Brady because that man says, I think I can get an upgrade. He goes to the Starbucks and they hand him a bigger cup. They're like, here you go, Mr. Brady.
The Venti.
He's like, I reject that.
I need
what
the
is that?
Venti.
A Venti? No, I need a Brady Venti, which is like two of them taped together with the bottom cut out. That's how he takes his Starbucks.
Now, the thing that I know that I can't wait to see is, is it Belichick? Is it Brady? I mean, because we know it's a combination of the two.
I think it's a good combination of two. I think it's Bill Walsh and Joe Montana. You know what I'm saying? It's like a coach and a quarterback that just get each other.
So is he going to quit? Is Belichick going to quit after Brady leaves?
Why would Belichick quit? He makes
we-
$12.5 million a year. Has unrivaled power in that organization, minus Mr. Kraft, and he's the leader. And he's got a young, like, for her age, like, hot chick and everything. He's
like 37, 38.
He's the man. And he's like, I got the whole world fooled. I don't have to do press conferences where I'm like nice to people. I don't have to fake anything. I just go out there and win, baby.
So you figure he has enough currency where he can play it out with 3-4 years, maybe?
The only way Belichick leaves there is if he feels like it. He's like, I'm done. Time for someone else to get the greatness. And
I think he's going to leave while he's still on top. I don't think he's going to stay too much longer after Brady leaves.
Probably not.
It's one of those.
I don't see it. I don't see him taking on a young quarterback.
Right, and taking those L's.
Trying to do it again.
Yeah, why do you want to take those L's? And I think that's the point. That percentage thing at some point.
But you never know, man. You never know.
Although he took those L's in the beginning.
He did.
Cleveland. Yeah.
People forget that, the tree he came from and the dues he paid in a lot of these teams, Cleveland and the Bills. And, Giants, all that stuff. And, he learned, and now he's hit that stride. And, once you hit that stride and you're still collecting rings, it's not like they're just sitting at the bottom of the barrel.
No. Best defense in the NFL right now.
Go ahead. Keep doing it. And then, whatever. It's your time to walk off. You drop the mic and you go out as the greatest of all time. Your legacy's there. Greatest of all time.
All right, talking about greatest of all time, man. We appreciate you guys tuning in to the Final Countdown. We're here each and every Thursday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Jeremy Long, MP, with our guy Quan59. Man, next time, call in, damn it. We want to hear from you. It's MP, it's Jeremy Long. We'll talk to you next week.